Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life Stories. I'm so glad that you're here. Today on the podcast, I speak with Karen Smithson. I found Karen on Instagram, and she has an account where every day she takes everybody along with her on her morning walk. And she talks about what's going on with the weather and with nature. But there's a specific reason that Karen started this account, and that is our word of the week.
It's the word of the week.
Our word of the week is accountability. Do you like accountability? Because sometimes I do. Sometimes it's not fun. But Karen has put herself out there and honestly set up this account for accountability. She wanted to get healthy and she wanted to make sure she was doing every day what she needed to do to meet her goal. And she knew that one way to do that was with accountability. And so she set up this account for that very reason, to have her friends hold her accountable. And now people all over the world are watching her account and they're following her and encouraging her. And I think it's amazing. I told her it's very brave to set yourself up like that for accountability, but sometimes we need that. If there's a goal that we have, if there's something we need to stop doing, accountability can be a very good thing when we have safe people to share that with. I hope you'll enjoy listening to our conversation. She was so sweet and so much fun to talk to. And you can look her up on Instagram at choosing to reset. Thank you for being here. Have a great day. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
You have power, I see.
I have power and it's starting to thunder.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
we have power right now.
Okay. So I saw your account, and I don't know how the algorithm works on social media, but somehow I saw a video and then I watched it and then they just kept popping up. Your videos kept popping up, and I thought this is really cool because all the people that I reach out to are either authors or have nonprofits or they volunteer for nonprofits or just different things. They're all helping other people, but I like unique ways people are helping others. And that's what you're doing. What you're doing is very unique. And so to you, maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe it's just something you were doing. I don't know if you expected it to get as big as it has. Not at
No,
all.
not at all.
No,
I
no.
actually started by I just wanted accountability for myself. This
Right.
was totally I saw a picture of myself on August the 6th that we were at my best friend across the road from me and I were helping at a plant sale for master gardeners.
Uh-huh.
And so I took a picture of the two of us together. And you look at yourself in the photo in mirrors and things, and you just don't see what what's happening, but a
Right.
photograph. And so I
Yeah.
clearly was heavier than I had probably ever been, and I looked really out of shape and puffy and just not I wasn't happy. So I decided that, okay, I need to do something, and I live in the country, it's hard to have accountability. It's easy
Right.
to not have accountability, particularly when
Yeah.
you're retired. And so I asked some friends of mine, okay, if I start an Instagram account and I said, I'm not going to sell any. This is not multi-level selling. It's not anything like that. It's just, I just want you to check every morning. And if you see that in a couple of days, if I haven't said that I'm walking, say, are you okay? Are you still walking? Just to hold me accountable.
Right.
So 10 people. And it went from there to, I thought that Instagram kind of worked like Facebook, that only the
Mhm.
people who actually like asked to join me or
Right.
were seeing my
Yeah.
video. Didn't understand that they could decide to turn post into reels and that they could just send them out
Yeah.
to the whole wide world. And that's what happened. So it kind of rocked along, still really small until January of 2024. And overnight, one night, I had 30 people follow me. And
Wow.
I can't went online and I said, just want to basically tell you all that really boring and you probably joined here by mistake. And my feelings won't be hurt if you guys decide to leave because really all I do is tell people good morning and it's just an accountability for my fitness.
Yeah.
And the video of me telling people
Yeah.
basically not to follow me turned into a thing and
Mhm.
has had over 1 million views.
Isn't that wild?
Makes me laugh out loud just say that. So, so that's what happened, and
Yeah.
then so when that happened, and I suddenly was getting tons and tons of people that deciding to follow me, I almost just shut it down because I just about panicked and thought,
Oh
"This is
gosh.
what I thought I was getting myself in for. I don't know what I'm doing. This is going to turn into a big mess." And I reached out to some really good trusted friends, and I was like, "Okay, so this has happened. What should I do?" My daughter-in-law being one of them, and
Hmm.
she was the one who said, social media can be a dark place, and you have an opportunity to be a light in a dark world."
Absolutely.
I was like, "Okay, maybe I can do this." And I just decided that they're just gonna see my heart, and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna change what I do. I'm gonna
Right.
do what I do, and it's okay if you go
Yeah.
on. And so but at the same time, I hope that I can be a light. So that's what's happened. That's how it got started.
Well, that's what I love about what you're doing. It's not any kind of wild and crazy thing that nobody can do. It's very simple, but people need to see that. People who are not motivated to get up and move need to see, hey, she's just walking. She's not, doing anything crazy. But that I know that's encouraging people to walk. And then just sharing about your life. You think it's boring. Other people don't think it's boring. We love hearing about other people's lives. I say the same thing about myself. Coming up with content for me sometimes is hard because I feel like my life is so boring. I don't do anything. But, we like hearing about other people and what they're doing and, keeping up with your weather stories and what's going on with all of that. People were probably invested in that and wanting to make sure you were okay and wanting to know if
There
you were
are
okay.
definitely people who I'm so fortunate. There's a perception out there that the world is just not a happy place or not a good
Right.
place. But I'm going to tell you that my experience is there are so many good people and
Yeah.
they care so much. When our we have a guest house and it flooded during the April, May, or end of April, 1st of May storms. It flooded
Yeah.
twice, 2.5 inches the first time inside the guest house, and the second time 2.5 feet
Oh
in
gosh.
4 days. And so the first time, we were gung ho. We got in there and we ripped out the sheetrock, and we were ready to go. And we already had dehumidifiers and fans. We had all that going. Well, we weren't prepared for flood number two, and so
Right.
um, the dehumidifiers and the fans and then the sheetrock wasn't high enough and
Oh
all of
gosh.
that. So we had to start all over again. And I just had people reach out from all over, like, how can we help you? And
Wow.
they don't know me. They don't
Right.
know me. And so, I mean, they know me 1.5 minutes a day because
Right.
that's really how much they know. And
Yeah.
it was so sweet and so wonderful. And so I really have formed some dear friendships, some people
Yeah.
who do check on me and do care about me and pray for me and just want to take care of me.
That's wonderful. So you started this for accountability. How important do you think accountability is um, for anything, any kind of goal that we have or something we need to change?
Well, I mean, I just feel like if you don't, first of all, set a measurable goal, I'm a teacher, I'm an educator.
Hmm.
So, if it's not a measurable goal, if I say I want to eat better, okay, what does that mean?
Right.
But if I say I want to eat less processed foods and I'm going to watch my portion control,
Yeah.
I have just a little bit more specific that I can say, am I eating a lot of processed foods? Am I really watching my portions? I can kind of ask myself, and that's a whole lot different than I want to eat better.
Right.
So having a goal for anything
Mhm.
is important, but having some knowing that you're like putting it out there in the world
Yeah.
makes you more likely, in my opinion, to be successful
Yeah.
because you know that someone's going to say, she said she was going to do this,
Right.
but she didn't. And so there's a lot of days that in the winter, particularly, it was
Right.
miserable. Then I was like, I'm just not going to walk today. And I would think, okay, all these people are going to know that I did not get up and walk today. So I got up
Yeah.
and I got myself moving. And so, yeah, I think accountability in pretty much any goal you set for
Right.
yourself is important.
It's important. It's brave to put it out there because you know they are gonna
It is.
respond.
It is. It is. And sometimes people circle back to things that I've said
Yeah,
and they'll say, well, can you hear the rain, by the way?
I can't.
Okay, good.
Is it
It's
loud?
pouring right now.
Oh,
Um, sorry.
no.
So there are people that circle back to things. They'll say, so how are you doing with your strength training? Okay, and so
Yeah,
I have to come back and say, okay, this is what I'm doing with my strength training. Um,
right.
Funny
Good.
story. I told you earlier that I kind of just live my life out loud and that I pretty much tell them everything. They know I'm doing a podcast. You probably saw that this
I
morning, but
did. I did.
they know I'm on a podcast today, and we had a big discussion about what I was going to wear. And because this took a lot of courage. I'm 63,
Hmm.
and in my era, a Texas girl, once you were 50, you just didn't go sleeveless unless you were in a swimsuit at the beach, and then you put a cover up on as soon as you could,
Right.
because that just wasn't something that was acceptable.
Yeah.
So for me to start wearing sleeveless clothes and
Yeah.
videotaping myself was a big deal. And so I asked everybody, what should I wear? And I
Right.
tried 3 different outfits. The clear winner was this athletic dress. And I got a really good message from someone. And
Hmm.
they said, this may not be the last time that you talk in public.
Absolutely.
And you are setting yourself up for what do you want people to know? And what I want people to
Right.
know is that I am trying to live a healthier lifestyle and they can too. And it's
Yeah,
okay that I'm 63 years old and have wrinkles and I can still wear sleeveless clothes and be
that's
fit.
right.
So,
That's right. That's awesome. I love it. I was going to ask what all do you share? I mean, I've listened to a whole bunch of your videos, so I know, but what all do you share when you're walking? Because you're just talking, like you said, you live out loud. So what do you share when you're walking?
usually in the mornings, I frequently people around the world follow or certainly from different parts of the United States. And so we talk about Texas some.
Yes.
I did a video about because people would ask me, they would say, I have a friend that lives in Amarillo. Are you
Is that close
there?
to you?
And that's just not an understanding of how big Texas is. So
Right.
I did a video of like the fact that El Paso is closer to the Pacific Ocean
Yes.
than it is to Texarkana, Texas.
Yes.
So, and that it's 13 hours
Right.
drive on a freeway,
Mhm.
on a highway to from the north part of Texas to the south part of Texas. And
Mhm.
so, anyway, I talk about things like that. I talk about what I'm going to be doing that day, if I'm going to be going to the library to read a book to kids, or whether I'm going to be going to a Master Gardener's thing, or if I'm just going to see my family, whatever it is, I just kind of tell it,
Yeah.
which sounds silly, but I do. And I also talk about things that I personally am learning. I'm doing
Mhm.
a lot of like learning myself about health. Like we've talked about strength training. I was diagnosed with osteopenia in January.
Mhm.
And so my grandmother actually died from complications of osteoporosis.
Oh,
So I
wow.
know it's a serious thing. I know it's something I
Yeah.
need to take seriously, that I need to make sure my bones are strong. So I've done a lot of looking into what I can do to make my bones strong and healthy. And so I share that whenever I
Yeah.
find new things. Today we talked about magnesium
Yes.
stories because yesterday I've had several people ask me what supplements I take, and I completely forgot magnesium because I take it every evening, and it just kind of feels like medicine to me because it's something I feel that strongly about.
Yeah.
So I talked about it today. I talk about strength training,
Mhm.
and I think that that's very important. Also, you're going to hear me talk about drinking your water and staying
Yes.
hydrated. and you're going to hear me talk about balance. When my parents got moved into, when they actually moved into independent living, the deciding factor whether they could go to independent living or whether they had to go to assisted living, which is a whole different ball
Right.
game, was whether they could get themselves up off the floor. And
Yeah.
so not having that core strength, and not being able to, being a fall risk is
Yeah.
something that so many people die from,
Mhm.
falls. My dad did end up passing away from a fall in the bathroom 2
Oh,
years ago.
wow.
And so, having core strength and having the ability to get myself up and down off the floor is it something that I preach about a little bit and kind of try
Right.
to step on my soapbox because it's so important to us as we age.
Absolutely.
So those are the kind of things that I talk about. People frequently want to know because I put a 30-second video in every afternoon of
Mhm.
just the walk with without me talking, just
Yeah.
listening to the nature. There's a lot of research that just says that lowers your blood pressure. It
I believe it.
calms you. So it calms me to watch it again in the
Yes.
afternoon. So frequently when I put that on, though, I will get messages from people who are concerned about snakes or ticks or do I have bears? And they just don't know what Texas has.
Right. I
That
laugh because I'm from Texas too, and so it's just funny to me because people don't know, and you don't realize they don't know.
right. And so yeah, so I've been able to talk with them about like what I do to keep from getting ticks, the
Right.
process that I go through and the fact that I do take that seriously and um, the wildlife that I see. Usually it's a box turtle. We've had a fox, we've had
Yeah.
one wild hog, but the things that we see on our trip, our walk every morning, and just kind of show them how beautiful this part of Texas is. It doesn't look like what most people's imagination that Texas is or what the news looks
Right.
Texas look like. We're in the middle of the piney woods in the
Mhm.
national forest. And so it's very woody, it's
Yeah.
very green, and we're really close to a lake. And so it's just a whole different look. When we had a foreign exchange student from Germany who
Oh,
came to
wow.
live with us. We've had several, but this one particular was funny because when he got off the plane and we took him to our house, he was like, this doesn't look like Texas. And it doesn't. If
Right.
ever seen is like cowboy movies or things like that, where it's
Yes.
very, so we took a trip so that he could
Yeah.
go see, and he said, "Oh, good, we're in Texas." And I was
Oh,
like,
that's
"You've been
funny.
in Texas the whole time."
Right.
So, so that's what I do, and I try to take everyone with us on our trips to see the
Your
countryside.
your property sounds a lot like our property. We live on family land and we live on 80 acres. We have five, but we live on 80. And I don't walk a lot on the property. Like we have a treadmill and I go outside with my dog and we've got cats and I walk around some, but I mean, after watching your videos, I'm like, I should be walking this property because it is beautiful and it's all wooded with pine trees in the back. And there's something, I mean, scientifically proven about it walking through the pine trees that how it does lower your blood pressure and it helps you relax and, all those things. And so you've encouraged me to, when it's not raining, to take my dog and just go for a walk. Cause I think I had it in my head. I needed to like for exercise, fast walk, and I can't do that because it's hilly and, it's just not even.
Right,
But I
and
have
that's
to do the
actually
walk.
one of the best things about walking outside
Yeah.
is the fact that it's not even. That is
Yeah.
actually causing you to work on your balance, whether you're unconsciously,
Yeah.
but you're having to make adjustments constantly, and it's so good for your balance and your strength
Yeah.
to walk on. I seek it. I have people ask me, "Don't I get bored?" And don't get bored because it's different
No.
every single day. It
Yes.
looks
Yes.
different, there's something new, um,
Hmm.
and so I don't get bored walking. Sometimes I change up the path, but that's because the dogs get to where
Right.
they want to cooperate with me as well,
Yeah.
and so they need the mental stimulation of not having a predictable route.
Sure.
But no, I don't get bored at all, and
Yeah.
it is beautiful, and it's good for your mental health, it's good for your physical health, and it's good for your
Mhm.
balance to be outside and walk.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing that with her because I don't have to rush. I don't have to rush. I can enjoy it and just I need to be doing that. So you are retired. Are you loving retirement?
I do love retirement. I
Yeah,
am gonna tell you that it's an adjustment. It's
I
not as
bet.
easy as people think it is, to
Yeah.
go from I was, I was the director of elementary instruction for a school
Uh-huh.
district whenever I retired and was working 50 hours a week
Oh
easy
wow.
every single week and loved it and,
Hmm.
had a lot of responsibilities to go to that to now what? You know, was kind of a change.
Yeah.
Um, and I had to, come up with a plan. My dear friend that actually lives across the road from me, I tell everyone she's my social planner, and she kind of just that first year just like we had a plan, we had things that we were going to be
That's
doing, and
great.
that helped.
Yeah.
Also, something that a lot of people aren't prepared for. I love my husband. I am so fortunate. I have a great husband. But we have never been together
Yes.
24 hours a day, day in and
Yes.
day out for weeks on end, and we had to adjust to that
Yeah.
part of
I can imagine.
that was not always easy. We've kind of found our rhythm now.
Yeah, that's good. My mom is retired. My parents are both retired educators, and she was a principal. And we used to laugh at her when she first retired because she would not know what day it was in the middle of the week. And I'm like, okay, you're enjoying this a little too much. It is an adjustment, I can imagine. So that's good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Do you miss being in the school at all? Maybe not necessarily all the responsibility, but
I I volunteer at the intermediate school here,
oh yeah,
Master Gardeners with Junior Master Gardeners, and so I enjoy that,
yeah,
and I get to spend some time with kids. Also, the past couple of years, I've done some consulting where I get to work with principals, and
that's
I love
nice.
that. So I kind of have kept my finger a little bit in.
Yeah.
Um, I still have grandkids, and I
Mhm.
love getting to teach them new things or show them new
Yeah.
things. But I kind of like, being able to
Yeah.
set my own schedule and do my own thing too.
Absolutely. So, what has been, and maybe you answered this earlier, what has been an unexpected blessing of this account that you didn't start to get big? You just started for accountability. What has been an unexpected blessing from it?
I think well, one of the things is it's definitely improved my technology
Yeah.
skills. That was unintended.
Right.
It has. It's forced me to kind of stretch myself with technology, and I am a digital immigrant. When I was teaching school, I remember the first time they brought a computer in and were trying to put it on my desk, and I was
Oh,
like, no,
gosh.
computers go over in the corner for Oregon Trail and for
Right.
or Reader Rabbit and all those
Yeah.
video games over there. I don't want a computer on my desk. And, they were like, you're going to have to start doing lesson plans on your computer. And I'll never be able to do that. So the fact that, I've come through, not having a computer to having a computer has been a challenge, but I've learned a lot. I've also just made connections with
Yeah.
people all over, people that I never expected to ever get to know, people in New
Yeah.
York City, people in California. Just recently, I had everyone guess how many pairs of glasses I had. I have too many, but um, so I sent out stickers to people who guessed who were the winners. And I sent out it was 10 different people, and I sent it out to 10 different states.
Wow.
And and it just so happened, Nebraska and Michigan and Montana, places like that, people that I would never, come across in my daily life. But
Yeah.
we have we have an online friendship.
Yes. Yes. So, what's your favorite thing about what you're doing? Just being able to meet the people around the world, or?
Being able to meet the people and selfishly, I said this yesterday, but, I do this really still for my accountability, and
Yeah.
it still is holding me accountable. I'm stronger than
Mhm.
I've been in years,
Yeah.
probably, honestly, and forever since my arms are definitely stronger than they were.
Right.
Um, and so as far as, personally, I'm a better person
Mhm.
because of this account.
Yeah.
I also hear from people that, just kind of tell me their stories, how
Yeah.
they've started walking or that they've already lost weight or whatever. And I'm just going to tell you that if you're going to start walking and you're going to do it to lose weight, you have to work on the cardio. Was a
Mhm.
whole thing that came out a while back about the fact that walking is not exercise. Walking is exercise,
I
but
agree. Yes.
you have to get your heart rate up for
Yeah.
it to do the things that you're wanting it to do. And that's what I focus on is my
Yeah.
heart rate and not so much on how many steps I take, but
Right.
how many minutes I get my heart rate up. Um, and so those just the opportunity for me to continue to work on myself and just get the encouragement that I get is
Yeah.
probably my favorite thing.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah,
So you're coming up on a year, I guess, if you started in August.
yeah.
Do you have any kind of little celebration plan for your 1 year?
I do. And I'm
Not
not gonna
sharing it
tell
yet.
you what it is.
That's okay.
I do, I have one of the things about my site that's a little bit different than other sites is I don't sell it. I don't promote
Right.
products. Anything that if
Right.
I tell you about something, it's just because I bought it myself and I treat you like you're my friend and it's
Right.
like I bought this and it works, but I
Yeah.
paid for it with my own money kind of thing.
Right.
Um, and so I have had the opportunity, like my Amazon account, the money that uh, I have an Amazon storefront because
Mhm.
people ask me about different products, and so that way I was able to set it up. But
Yeah.
all those funds go to our education foundation.
That's
I'm
awesome.
doing a right now an artist in Mississippi. Sorry, Leslie. Um, just created some artwork for me for a logo and all that, and it turned into from there that she set up where there's mugs and T-shirts
Oh,
and stickers. It's
wow.
the funniest thing in the whole wide world to me that I have stuff like that. I'll say, "Well, good morning, friends."
Oh, I
Uh,
love it. I love
yeah,
it.
and so the funds for that are gonna go, for teacher grants or people
That's
who
great.
want to, you know, give money in our local school district or our teachers to be able to buy supplies or do the things that they wanna do if there's
Yeah.
something outside the box that they wanna do. So I don't earn any money from what I do.
Right.
Um, and I have an upcoming event that I want to uh, for my 1 year. There's an organization that's near and dear to my heart that
Yeah.
I'm going to be asking people to help out with. But that's it. Yeah, no, there's no big celebrations. Recently, I was reading on Threads, and it was like, "What is the reason people don't that you unfollow someone?" And they were like, "If you cry online." And I was like, "Okay, done
Oh
that."
gosh.
If they cry online, I automatically don't follow them. And then the other one, there were three things that really stuck to me because there were three things. If you only take videos of yourself, I was like, "Okay, well, they're probably not following me." And the
That's
last
so funny.
The last one was that they said, "If you tell people how many people follow you." And so I usually celebrate when we hit a milestone. So
Hey,
clearly, I've got a lot of people not who have unfollowed me because I cry. I tell people how many people follow me, and yeah. So anyway,
well, you celebrate every one of those little things you celebrate. I've been doing this a year and a half and I'm not making any money. You know, the light world's gonna still turn if I decide not to do it. I'm not, but I love that I get to do it. I love that I get to share people's stories and meet people all over the world who are doing great things. I mean, I could name you all the states of people that I've talked to and what they're doing. And it just blows my mind because one of my guests recently said, We can't do everything, but everybody can do something. And so even if it seems like a little thing, just doing something is making a difference in the world. And that's what you're doing. So I love that I got to talk to you today. This was wonderful. Is there anything else that you want to share that I didn't ask about or?
I don't think so. I've really enjoyed it though. It's been lovely
Well,
talking
thank
to you.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Sure. I hope you have a wonderful day and I hope y'all remain with power. No
We
power
have.
outages.
That's the goal.
Yes.
Have a
All
great
right.
day.
All right. You too. Bye bye.